Mars in Sagittarius. This is the first of one of the universal signs, which means their actions are a bit more universal. So I would call these people aggressively cage-free. They are the free bird, often adventurous, probably the kind of person that spends their 20s traveling the world, maybe without a stable job, and somehow they manage to do it. They have a kind of restless energy. Being physically active can help them in some way to alleviate some of that energy. It's also a positive energy. Sagittarius comes after Scorpio, so it is the most positive of the signs, most optimistic. They are extremely courageous in their actions. They believe in the impossible. Positivity is fuel for them as well as fun. Some are notorious partiers because they just love to have a good time. They are drawn to whatever is positive or fun and possibly make a career of it. Entertainer of some sort. They're also often in the world of politics because they have very, very strong convictions. They like to convince other people to believe what they believe. There's this strange kind of dynamic to them. They love to travel, they love to see new things, new cultures, but at the same time, they are also extremely strong-willed in arguing out their beliefs and trying to get people to come to their side. If you have a Mars in Sagittarius, you might know that your convictions run very, very deep. And so because of that, you might just want to stay in the party mode, the light kind of laissez-faire attitude, and party your life away. That way, you never have to show people the side of you that might not be as open-minded, perhaps. One of the things that a Mars in Sagittarius learns over time is to be more patient because they do have that high energy. It's extremely hard for them to wait it out and watch the grass grow. And when there's a few bumps in the road on some kind of goal, they can sometimes just scrap the whole idea because if anything rings negative, they might run for the hills. A Mars in Sagittarius, like many of the Sagittarius positions, can be very, very forward, very direct. They can often speak their mind, not hold back. No filter. Remember, they are cage-free. They are the free bird. And they believe that they have the right to speak their beliefs and act on their beliefs. They don't really think about, oh, people might not accept this. They don't really consider that anyone else is the powerhouse that can bring them down because they are Sagittarius. They are Jupiter, the biggest planet. They often like to have a lot of things going on all at once as opposed to just one thing, hence why they can make great politicians. You've got to constantly be spinning plates all at the same time. So a job that is too mundane and one direction, extremely boring. You probably want a job that is like 1,000 things all at once. And as long as things stay positive, there can be great follow-through. There's also a lot of passion behind a Mars in Sagittarius. They draw people to them because the way that they go about things is very passionate. They like to think about the big picture. They're really fun to be around. They're not so great with the details, but they'll usually have somebody else in their group that can handle that for them. Some Mars in Sagittarius are kind of like an elephant in a china shop. They just sort of barrel through like, oh, I have an idea. Bam. Oh, I have another idea. Bam. You might not notice like anything that gets in their way until it's too late. That whole learning patience and kind of learning how to size up the room first. When they are on fire, they are sadly not stopping to think about other people's feelings or that other people could be more sensitive than they are. They step on people's toes in this passionate zest for moving things forward. While they're extremely fun-loving, if you get them on a topic that they are very, very passionate about, watch out. Because all of a sudden, this jokester, who is like everybody's friend and the class clown, suddenly becomes this bloodthirsty, brutal politician and debater out of nowhere. Yikes, that was pretty brutal. Passion can go two ways. They're often very athletic people. They're a fire sign, and this is in the planet of Mars, so two very physical things combining. They often have really great inspiration when they are doing some form of working out or being physical. While passion is amazing, some of the more evolved Sagittarius Marses have learned that different belief systems are what makes the world go round. And truthfully, no one can be cage-free unless we all have the ability to believe what we want to believe. These Mars and Sagittariuses are extremely open-minded and very passionate, not just about their own beliefs. Unlike a lot of the other fire signs, a Sagittarius in Mars is more likely to just vanish than to have a temper, about something real, that is. They might seem very bloodthirsty in like some kind of sport or a game, but when it comes down to real life and real conflict, they'll often just head for the hills, disappear, leave a puff of smoke, like a little outline of themselves, like those Roadrunner cartoons. Mars controls all of our doing energy, and this includes sexual energy. Sexually, they are very fun, very passionate, very playful, athletic. Sex is a physical kind of thing. There can be a little competitiveness. From them, it's not like severe competition of like proving who's dominant. It's just playful energy. They don't have the obsessive energy about people when it comes to sex and relationships. So if somebody goes like cold on them, they'll usually just be like, okay, cool, whatever. They are about the bigger picture, probably have the philosophy of like live and let live and let love. And while they will work hard to win somebody over, they also often have the philosophy of things are just kind of meant to be or not meant to be. And no amount of working hard to win someone over or wooing someone is going to make up the difference. While you could say that they are into sort of sexual games, these are not games like mind games, like manipulation. These are more like games like Twister without clothes, or sex in different locations. Lots of laughter, lots of experimenting. And usually their sexual partners are their best friend. There's like a lightheartedness to it all. I guess you could say they're not the most romantic lovers. They don't have that obsessive energy, but they are very spiritual lovers. They are probably going to keep you laughing. They don't like sex to be too contrived or serious. You're not really gonna have 50 Shades of Grey here, unless it's like a spoof of 50 Shades of Grey. Passionate, adrenaline rush, appetite for life, a love of just going for it. With a Mars in Sagittarius, you have a friend for life. If you are a woman with a Mars in Sagittarius, then you are attracted to a man who is probably more spiritual, more big picture, adventurous, has really thought on a deep level his beliefs and why he believes what he believes. He actually believes something, so he's more of a positive kind of person and has faith in something. You're probably also attracted to a man who has a big heart, who knows how to laugh and make other people laugh, probably has a big laugh, kind of gregarious in some way, doesn't care as much about what other people think. He's just willing to be goofy, make light of things. And you might also be attracted to somebody who's from a different culture than you are, somebody who grew up in a very different way than you did. All right, hope you guys like my take on Mars in Sagittarius, and come back for the next video.